Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the BDE podcast. It's your boy Ben Coons, and I'm here with the one, the only, Draper Robinson. How you doing, my guy?
What's up, buddy? I'm doing pretty
Oh,
good.
hell yeah. Living the life, living the dream.
Living someone's dream.
Living someone's dream. Someone's dream.
Someone with very low aspirations.
Listen, your dream is coming, buddy. We're almost there.
Almost there.
Relatively speaking. But how's the Idahos?
It's cold.
Yeah.
It's really cold.
Kids getting
Skiing
snow?
and snowboarding is pretty good though.
Hell yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice. We got like a foot and a half of snow in one day. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, that looked not very fun.
Nope. It was not. But, you know, it is what it is. But
it is what it is.
All right, my dude. Well, what have you been watching recently? Spider-Man? You've been watching a bunch of Spider-Mans?
Yeah. So I had to, those who follow the videos, so I rewatched TASM so that I could have it fresh in my mind as I tore it limb from limb. But so I rewatched TASM 1, and then I decided to watch, I did watch Homecoming after that. And then because I was on a Spider-Man kick, I watched Spider-Man 2002 with the Green Goblin. And then I didn't finish it, but I started Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. And dude, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies are pretty good.
They are pretty good. I do love them.
They're pretty good. I think that they're campy, but like the writing in it is actually really good, especially the dialogue. The dialogue's pretty impressive, I would say. Like it feels natural.
It feels natural.
It sounds like, oh, it feels natural. That's every movie ever. No, it's not. Because it's not TASM. It's not TASM at all.
Do you have any plans or aspirations to watch TASM 2?
I'll do it.
Not aspirations, but
I
plans.
won't enjoy it. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get to it.
I love it. Hell yeah, dude. Very nice. And are you enjoying going? When's the last time you watched those first Raimi movies? Has it been a while?
It's probably been a year or two.
Oh, okay. Is it kind of something you go back to pretty often?
Yeah, whenever I need it.
I feel like I always go back to at least 1 and 2 pretty often, at least once a year, maybe twice a year. Same thing with the first, with TASM. I'll go back to TASM once or twice a year. Mm-hmm. Very rarely do I watch TASM 2 or Spider-Man 3.
You should rewatch Spider-Man 3. You were talking to me about it, and you clearly don't remember it.
I don't.
I'm telling you, and I literally made a video on it, so I don't know I have to tell you this, Benjamin. You were there.
I was there.
But Spider-Man 3 is actually a decent movie with really cringe things like sprinkled in there. It's just that you remember the cringe more than the rest of it, which is a problem.
That's a problem.
And I agree. Like that sucks. That sucks that that's the case. But I am telling you, Spider-Man 3 is actually a pretty good movie.
Fair enough. And then I'd like to watch No Way Home. Yeah, is that the third? That's the last one. Yeah,
they're all.
I'd like to watch No Way Home more often because I really love No Way Home, but it's like impossible. I think it's on. I think we had to rent it one day. I really wanted to watch it, and I had to rent it from like Amazon or something like that. Like it's not on Disney Plus or anywhere else, which is really annoying. But
yeah,
whatever. I don't know what the deal is. What's the deal with the fact that you have Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, TASM 1 and TASM 2, Homecoming, and Far From Home on Disney Plus, but they won't put the third one on? Why is that?
I'm sure that it's rights, and they've put it. It's not on Disney Plus. Oh, I think I have it, just so you know. But
nice.
I think that they give the rights to different streaming services, and then because they like part of their deal is that they won't have it on theirs. So
Okay.
monies is always the case.
Streaming services are
It's probably hard too because Spider-Man's it's Disney, but it's also Sony.
Sony, right?
So
Just HBO needs to buy everybody. That's what it needs to. Or no, who is it? Netflix? Is Netflix buying HBO? Netflix just needs to buy everybody and have one big thing, and everyone can watch everything. That's what it needs to be.
I think that's what Disney's plan is to buy everybody. But
that's someone's got to buy something because I'm sick and tired of being able to find everything but the one movie I want to watch. Because it's like, well, I don't have all of the other ones, but like this one we don't have for whatever reason. I'm like, stop.
Somebody's got to buy Sony and put a stop to these Morbius and Craven movies.
Listen, we'll get into that later. We'll get into that later because
what's the one? I've never even seen it, but the girls.
Oh, Madam Web.
Yeah.
I did that one for science purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And the experiment failed.
Yeah, not because Sydney Sweeney was in it at all.
For a whopping 3 minutes, dude.
You didn't know that.
And Dakota Johnson was in it.
You didn't know that going into the movie.
Also, I think Isabel Merced, is she the one that plays Hot Girl? I think she's also in it.
Sounds right. Really?
I think I'm wrong on that.
I wouldn't know.
I haven't
seen it.
There are some movies that I would like that I'm like, you've got to watch these. I know you don't like to watch it, but you got to watch them. Like TASM 2 is going to be one of them because I'd like to go over those Spider-Man movies. I don't know if those Sonyverse movies, the Cravens.
I need to watch them.
I don't know. I don't know if you should.
I need to, though. If we're doing this, then I need to know what I'm talking about.
Because next thing you know, Draper's just going to go head first off of a jump on a snowboard and just dive right into the ground. That's going to be his best way to go. That's what I'm going to hear. He's going to be like, I did a jump that I wasn't prepared for, and I nosedived on purpose. My God, that's what Morbius does to me. Very nice, very nice.
What have you been watching, buddy?
Well, I had the chance to watch Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt in The Fall Guy. Did you ever see that?
No.
It's really good. It was a lot of fun. Laurel and I were just scrolling through, I think it was Paramount. I'm just trying to find something to watch on a Friday or Saturday night. And that was one that I wanted to see in theater. I think it came out last year. I wanted to see that one in theaters, and I just never got around to do it. Mm-hmm. So we got to watch it, and it was a lot of fun. I love Ryan Gosling. Like, the more I see Ryan Gosling in movies, the more I enjoy Ryan Gosling. And then Emily Blunt is also, like, fantastic. I don't think Emily Blunt's in anything that I don't like.
Is Ryan Gosling in something that you don't like? The Notebook.
Yeah, but it's not because it's not that I don't like the movie and I don't like Ryan Gosling. I don't like how Ryan Gosling gets treated in some movies, and I'm like, Ryan deserves better. Because La La Land's like that. Like, I do like La La Land,
dude,
and I love
La La
Ryan
Land's
Gosling.
Amazing,
so good. But also, like, I see Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling like staring at each other years down the
dude. I love that ending,
and I'm like,
I love it.
And but it's just, I'm just like, Ryan Gosling deserves the girl always.
That's the lesson of that movie, is that your dreams come at a cost.
Okay. I am so excited for what this year brings. My sanity. That's what Draper sells for fame and fortune, is my sanity.
Whatevs,
dude. Whatevs. I got to watch The Fall Guy. A lot of fun. It was really funny. I don't really watch a lot of rom-coms, but of the ones that I have seen recently.
A rom-com?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The ones that I have seen have been really good, and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna start getting into rom-coms again, dude. Because I watched them all the time growing up, because my mom loves rom-coms. But
right.
The Fall Guy. Check it out if you guys haven't. It's a lot of fun.
I'll have to check it out. I've heard it's good.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Ready to get into this, my guy?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's do it. Let's do it, everybody. We have gone to the theaters yet again. It's our February movie of the month, and Draper and I went to go see the new Sony animated movie, um, produced by Steph Curry. Is
Yeah,
that
he's
right?
got something to do with
He's
it.
got something to do with it. He
I'm pretty sure he
voices.
produced it.
He also voices one of the characters in it. But
The Draft, right?
yeah, we went and saw the movie Goat. Um, Draper, what were your initial thoughts, kind of before we get into kind of the depths of it? What were your kind of initial thoughts on it? Just real quick, 5 minutes or so.
Spoiler free.
Yeah, spoiler free.
I thought so. I went in expecting it to be pretty good. I wanted to love it.
Right.
And I don't think I watched a trailer for this at all. I think I just saw posters, knew it was
Yeah.
produced by Steph, and I was like, I'm going to go see that. So, it did not go the direction that I thought it was going to go. Definitely. But I really appreciated that it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. I think it was much better than what I had anticipated. I thought the story was really cool. I like the main character. I would argue that there's a second main character in this movie, and I loved that main character and wasn't expecting to. And I loved the message of this movie. The animation was sick. It's about basketball or rollerball, but it's basketball. And yeah, I would say that it's fun for all ages. Maya and I went, and I don't think Miles could sit through a movie in the theater yet.
That's fair.
But I think that I'm gonna watch it more than once, definitely. And I just really appreciated this movie. I feel like it was a really pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I was kind of the same boat as you. I hadn't seen a trailer for it. I'd seen posters and tweets and stuff about it that saying like Steph's coming with a new movie, and I'm like, cool. I went into it thinking it was gonna be very like kiddie type movie, like it's designed to be centered around small children. But I'm like, it's a Steph Curry movie. I love Steph Curry. I'll go watch it. Like it piqued my interest enough. And like you said, it is very much an all ages movie. I feel like anybody can really enjoy it and find something.
Yeah, I think it's for kids, but like I think older kids would enjoy it more than younger kids.
Yeah, yeah. And like you said, like there is a really good message behind it. That again, I think it's like kids see animals playing basketball or this roar ball or whatever it's called, and they're like, this is fun, this is cool, and like they do sneak in like some messaging in there that really applies to just like real world. It does a really good job at that, and like makes you feel like, oh, okay, gives me kind of something to think about, but not something too complex or anything like that. So, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Like you said, I'll repeat. The animation was freaking fantastic. Loved it so much.
Oh, yeah. You can tell that it's like the same animation kind of style, or at least like the software as the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Yep. Very, very similar to that.
Which is totally fine. If Sony keeps pushing out movies that look like this, I'm here for it.
Yeah. I am. I walked out of that theater and I looked at Laurel and I said, this may be something that not a lot of people agree with, but I think Sony needs to stop fully doing live action movies and strictly do animation. Like there's not a single movie that Sony puts out that I can think of that Sony puts out that couldn't be done in an animation.
Is.
Like,
well, yeah,
Sony does
anything could be animation, but I would argue that if you got it right, anything could also be live action.
True. For whatever reason, whoever is behind the animation team just seems to lock in not only on the animation itself, but when it comes to dialogue and storytelling, like every person in that room is just locking the frick in and being like, we're really going to start setting records with these things. Because Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, right? Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse, like not only are they beautiful movies, not only are they like really fun to watch and see and really cool action sequences and stuff, but the dialogue and the story in it is phenomenal. Like I love it a lot. Like it's engaging. Um, they have really good like one-liners and it's really creative. But I'm like, there's not like anything that because I think Sony's doing the new Tomb Raider movie with what's her bucket from Game of Thrones and Dark Phoenix.
They're redoing it again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sansa. I don't know her actual name.
Yeah,
I would know
the
it
redhead.
if I heard it, but
Anyways, Sophie Turner.
dude, I loved Alicia Vikander as Tomb Raider. Why aren't we doing more of those?
I don't know, but I think Sony is doing that, and a Tomb Raider animated movie would be dope as shit. Like, I would love that.
Real quick, just to throw out a few live action ones at you. Did you see Bullet Train?
No, not yet.
Bullet Train's really good. That's Sony. Uncharted.
Better
I
at that
heard
one.
that was man.
Uncharted was good. Would have been better as an animated movie.
Gran Turismo.
That was old. That's older Sony, right?
2023.
Oh no! Gran Turismo is. I was thinking of a way wrong movie. Gran Turismo is the video game one. Also could have been done in animated. They did a good job live action, but that would also have been a really good movie animated too.
And then the Jumanjis.
Yeah.
And
So
Insidious.
Jumanji being live action
Okay.
is kind of like that. That's kind of the point of that one is. So I'm okay with that, but Sony locks the frick in when it comes to animation, and it is incredible. I think that right now should be a main focus on creating those really cool animation styles and building off that because they've done 3 now, and I think that this movie opening weekend for Goat like hit like $92 million or something like that, which is huge for a kids animated movie. Like that's really good. And they can make a lot of money and they can have really like right now. I mean, outside of like your Pixar's, and like Disney does a lot of that animation stuff, but they are doing animation in a completely different way than Pixar or DreamWorks or anything like that. Like the art style is very comic booky. It's a very unique art style, and I think they can do really, really cool stuff, not just in that art style, but the fact that they even came up with that art style, they can create, they can use that imaginative creativeness and put it into another form of animation to make something like a Tomb Raider or what was the other movie that I said that would have been really good animated? Not Gran Turismo. What was the one you said before Gran Turismo? Uncharted. Like they could have made it. They could have made something in Uncharted or Tomb Raider area that's not cartoony or anything like that, but looks a little bit more video gamey, and make it really cool. And then you can do the far fetched, crazy stuff that happens in the video games, and no one bats an eye at it. But I strongly think Sony, if Sony execs are listening, which obviously they are, stick to the frickin' animations because you guys are killing it in that department. Like, and having the third Beyond the Spider-Verse come out, it's only going to boost the popularity of it and boost your, the revenue that comes from it.
I'm gonna break your heart real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to know why that's never gonna happen?
Why?
So there have been 10 Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 3 Tobey Maguire ones, 2 Andrew Garfield ones, 3 Tom Holland ones. I mean, the last one also has Andrew and Toby.
Sure.
And then 2 animated ones. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Box office. Out of all of those, which one do you think did the worst box office
The
sales?
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Interesting.
Which one do you think did the second worst?
Is it the not Beyond Across the Spider-Verse?
It is Across the Spider-Verse. Just having it in live action, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 did 100,000 more. Well, not quite 100,000 more than Across the Spider-Verse, but it doubled Into the Spider-Verse.
What about what did it cost to make the animated movies versus
Oh,
the live action?
I bet those animated movies still cost a lot. Let's see if it says.
Because I think that I think that the success of it comes from a type of stigma of like it's not live action, so it's not adult, and so
It does. You're right.
and I think
But it reflects in
right,
that. You know what I'm
but
saying?
eventually that's gonna have to like you're gonna have to break that. If you want this industry, which I think it has a potential to be really successful in, if you want to break that stigma and those like you've got to just keep if you're making money you've got to keep producing stuff like that for people to realize that it's not we're not it is for kids because it's a Spider-Man movie and for the most part they're pretty clean but
Across the Spider-Verse was 100 million.
mm-hmm.
Um, Into the Spider-Verse was 90 million. And then the cheapest live action one was, it looks like Far From Home at 160 million. The first Spider-Man in 2002 was 139 million. Most of them are over 200 million. It looks like the most expensive one was Spider-Man 3 at $258 million.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, so let's say that they're 100 to maybe 200 million more.
Mm-hmm.
They're also bringing in that much more as well.
Like the gross is similar to that so even the gross profits they make off those movies it's not a huge gap.
So,
Even if it does, I mean, even if that is true, which it more than likely is, because it's a business and it's driven by money, and I get that, whatever. But I think that the animations that Sony has already put out, they're just really, really cool. They're really unique. I've really enjoyed watching them, and I wish and I want there to be more. And I'm just hoping that Sony continues on this trend of like turning these turning a Spider-Man or something like that into animation, running that route and kind of branching off of that. Just because it is so unique. It's really, really cool. I love the idea and the things that they can do with it. Far outreach. Because if you were trying to do Into the Spider-Verse in live action, it would be by far the most expensive Spider-Man movie that you can do because of, having the whole multiversal properties that come into it and having all of the effects that would come into that dimensional travel or whatever it is where animation it's a lot easier probably a lot cheaper to do that. I don't know that but I would assume so. So they can just do really cool far-fetched things that it's just entertaining to watch. So I'm hoping Sony will continue with that, and hopefully they can kind of branch off those cool kind of cartoony illustrations that they do, because like you said, the Spider-Mans and Goat have a very similar art style to it, and it's a really, really cool, really interesting art style that I really, really love. So
I think they'll
Um,
continue to make
yeah,
these animated movies because they're still making money off of them. I
right.
just don't know if they'd ever. I don't
Replace.
think that Sony would ever be like, let's never do a live action
Yeah, it's fair.
again.
That's fair. Um, but then they turn things out like Morbius and Craven, where it's complete dog water
Well, and that's not necessarily because it's
of
live
Sony.
action.
Right.
Well, it is a little bit of Sony. Like, I mean, you can't you can't necessarily blame the producer if a movie is amazing or not amazing every time, but if they're consistently like putting out these movies that I think I really do think that there's still a stigma that you just have to put something out. Like it doesn't matter if it's well written or anything. Superhero movies, like they'll just make money because they're superheroes. And unfortunately, fortunately for us as the consumers, but unfortunately for them as the business, Marvel came along and Christopher Nolan. I
Mm,
mean, literally 2008.
yeah.
2008 changed superhero movies with Iron Man coming out
Hmm.
and The Dark Knight, and really before that. And honestly, Raimi did too, because
Hmm.
Raimi did some pretty intense, like he took them seriously.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I did just watch Daredevil again. By the way, Daredevil came out a year after Spider-Man,
Oh,
the
really?
first Spider-Man. Yep.
Jeez.
And I actually find enjoyment in that movie, but you can tell that
Hmm.
they like I think Ben Affleck takes it seriously. Um but I don't think that like it's super serious. Like it's kind of campy and superhero-y
Yeah.
to a fault that even the Spider-Man, like I call the Tobey Maguire movies campy, but they're pretty serious comparatively to a lot of other superhero stuff. And like you can just tell that the writing is just getting better and better. And then yeah, Dark Knight, Iron Man comes out. Like, oh, not only can these superhero movies be like good movies, you know what I mean, like on their own merits, not just with the name of a whatever superheroes attached to it, but they can be like some of the best movies, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
I they weren't necessarily winning any awards or anything, which I think is kind of stupid. I think that was being the academy being kind of stingy, but
Yeah.
there were multiple, reviewers and stuff who would be like, yeah, I think the best movie that came out this year was a Marvel movie. Or, I mean, we've seen The Dark Knight. We know how
Yeah.
good writing can be for these
Yeah.
superhero movies if you
Exactly.
take it seriously. So,
Right.
and anyways, that's my point is that they don't have to be bad writing because they're live action. I don't know why, but Sony is willing to put together a good team who really cares and really makes a good script that's it takes itself more seriously. Like obviously the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse have goofy moments and they're kind of kid movies to an extent, but like the themes there are really like mature
Hmm.
and serious and like that's why they're so great. So
Yeah.
I don't know why they can't take that writing and those writers, or good writers and put them on their live action product.
Yeah. Yeah. And to kind of just tie it back into kind of what we're talking about today is, and to piggyback off of the fact, like, Goat is one of the movies where like it is a kids movie and to an extent, and it has lines and it has things that like there's a scene where uh the main character, what's the sheep's name? I forget the goat's name.
Will.
Will, yeah. And Will's talking to his friends, And then his friend's like, "Come on, let me hear you baa." He's like, "Baa." And then like there's a whole 30-second sequence where he's like baaing really, really loud. And
Yeah.
like that's a thing that like you look at them like, all right, that's funny. But like there were like 8, 9, 10 year olds behind me, like pissing their pants laughing at that scene. And I'm like, okay, like that obviously there's the audience for that.
But
But
then it
also
also has, I mean, like Will's storyline. Should we dive more
yeah,
into
let's just go. Yeah,
spoilers?
yeah, let's just go into
So,
it.
spoiler warning: if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go see it. I think
Yeah.
this is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's dive into spoilers. So, Will's story is it's chasing a dream,
Mm-hmm.
which I mean can be very. It can be a kind of a plot kids movie plot, but also more of an adult plot as well. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can take that in a wide range.
Yeah.
This one I think did a bit more complex and stuff. But ultimately I would range it at like a young adult. Like
Yeah.
a 12-year-old's gonna pretty fully understand and relate with Will's storyline of wanting to be great, even though he's a medium sized animal
Yeah.
and they call him a small, and only
Right.
bigs can play this sport. Like he's the first one that's not a big to even join the league.
Right.
And so his storyline, it's a little more mature than, your
Mm-hmm.
usual kids movie. Jet, who I would argue is the other main character
Yeah.
in this story. I think that's one that like, yeah, kids can grasp it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think many people that are not adults will fully appreciate her
Yeah.
storyline
Right.
of being like uh, you know, one of the greatest and still a great player, but like realizing that she's about to age out of this and not maybe have fully realized her goal of like what she wanted to do, what she wanted to accomplish, and kind of the complexities and emotions that come along with that of, you know, um, it's just I loved Jet as a character.
Yeah.
I thought she was
Agreed.
freaking awesome. I loved her storyline, and that's what I didn't see coming at all
Mm-hmm.
in this movie was the character of Jet at all.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I think that you're right. This is definitely like a movie that has some funny kid parts that are make you laugh, um, but also is like a fun journey as an adult. Kind of
Yeah.
like kind of like the Pixar's of like Inside Out or like the Finding Nemo types
Yeah.
of movies where kids can enjoy it, but adults can also really relate to stories in it.
Well, and that's one of the things that as I was watching it, the movie was very entertaining all the way through. You and I are both big fans of basketball, so when it ties
Mm-hmm.
in that, like I kind of already lock into it. I'm like, this will be an interesting take on basketball. It's a very unique. Like what they're explaining is very unique.
Mm-hmm.
If I were living in this fantasy world and I was an animal, I would very much strongly be considered a small. Like, so I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Like, I am right in
I
that
think you'd
crowd
be
of.
a medium, Ben.
All right, a medium. I'll take a medium. I'll take that. I ain't no big though, that's for sure. Um, but as much as it was entertaining and it kept me engaged all the way through, like
Mm-hmm.
it was not hard. And like I didn't have to like sit and like philosophize with my wife about like this is what the true meaning of this movie is. Like it's very apparent. Like it's where
Follow your dreams.
follow your dreams. Will is like, hey, even though someone tells you that you're not able to do something,
Mm.
when given the opportunity to show if you can or can't do it, like
Mm-hmm.
all it takes is one opportunity. If you can succeed in that one opportunity, you'll get another one. If you continue to succeed, you'll defy the odds. But don't
Yep.
ruin or don't sell short the one opportunity you got.
His
And like
mama always told him to dream big.
exactly. But like, and like those are stories that you just love, especially as even as an adult, where you know you and I are both very active in sports, and I mean we're from Wyoming, so there's not really much. There wasn't really much of a chance for either one of us, I think, in reality. Um, but like to have that opportunity, like, you have that sitting in the back of your mind, like I had the opportunity, would I've made the best I could out of the opportunity, or would I have fallen short? And like to have that dream of being like, no, like if I'm given an opportunity to do something that I never thought I'd be able to do, I'd like to make the best of that opportunity and excel at that. And like that's a lesson from Will. Like that's just how it is, and like it's very right in your face, and you don't have to like sit and ponder and write out all these things like, okay, what is the deeper meaning? Like it's very apparent. And like I like that it's right there and you're following it along with him and you're kind of feeling the emotions of Will's story. And then, like you said, on Jet's side, like it's very much of like you're past your prime, and it's okay for you to be past your prime. Like there's still a purpose for that, for you, for your character. Like not just when it comes to sports, but just in life in general. Like a lot of people, you just get older, you obviously you age out of where you were in your early 20s, mid to late 20s, and as you push older in age, like you just happen to do that. That's what happens when it comes to aging. And that coping mechanism that happens with Jet, where she's like furious and she's angry, and then she's kind of like she uses sarcasm, like, yeah, of course this person, and then Will does something impressive, and then she's in denial about it, and then her last ditch effort where she's like, I have to be the one. I'm the veteran. I'm the oldest. I'm the one that's got to put everybody on my back, and I've got to take care of people, even though those people are like, we were doing this together as a team. We were doing just fine. Why would you do that? And there's that sense of betrayal of like, well, I was just trying to do what's best for you guys. And like, there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of relatable things that happen in a movie about a goat playing basketball with a panther, and like it's really really interesting the way they did it. It was really really cool. The dialogue was cheesy at times and kind of campy at times, but also when it got serious, like you kind of like, oh shoot, this is a serious moment, and like it did take itself serious, which I really loved. Which I really loved about it is that it didn't be like, no, this is just a jokester thing for kids. I'm trying to reach a vast audience, and I think it did.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I mean, obviously we both played basketball, but I think anyone who really played sports, definitely sports, you can relate more to this movie. But even if you just like had something that you really wanted to work at, or even if you're on Jet's side and maybe you did get really good at something, but like maybe looking back on it, you know, someone on the outside would say, oh wow, you really were successful in that, but you were like, yeah, but I wanted to accomplish so much more and stuff like that. Like it's very interesting, and yeah, you can, I think everyone can find something to relate to in this movie.
Yeah.
So who's Will
Who's
in the
Will?
real world? Yeah.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, 100%, right?
Steph Curry. Yeah.
100% that's Steph Curry. Okay, here's the question I wanted to ask you, because Maya asked me this, and she was genuinely asking me. But she said, who's Jet then in the real world?
I think Will is Steph Curry out of college, and I think Jet is Steph Curry now.
I think that I that's basically what I said is like, well, Steph's at the end of his career, you know, and stuff.
And he's definitely not done. Like he's still balling.
Well, they make fun of Jet for how old she is, but she's still like the top. Like, I mean, there's main attraction who's coming into the league and doing really well, but she's still a contender for like, I can put up with the best of them. And so is Steph Curry. Like Steph Curry's in his 15th year or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's still putting up numbers that are crazy, like for a
someone his quote unquote his age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I agree. Although Jet's big thing is that she wants a claw, which is a championship, right? She's never gotten that, no matter how good she is. Which I mean, is I'm sure there's plenty of NBA players that were really good, but never quite got there. I mean,
Right.
but the one that came to my mind was almost like an alternate reality version of, or an early on of LeBron before he went to the Heat, because he was on the Cavaliers and being regarded as like the best player. Like
Right.
he was like amazing. He's the best player in the league, but he couldn't get to the championship. Like he ended up having to leave, and then he came back and did it. But like, I wonder if he had never left to Miami, does he even get the opportunity to have like Kyrie on his team and get a championship in, or would he be like Jet and be like, I've been the best player in this league for, so long, and I'm like on my way out, but I've never won the championship. So
Right.
I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that question out. I thought it was kind of fun, but I do agree with you. I think that Steph Curry had a lot to do with the making and writing of this movie. I don't think he wrote it, but I do think that he helped tell his story, and they, like really good writers, put it onto the page. That he is very much Will, but he's also very much Jet.
Yeah. I also want to kind of talk about how incredible the side characters were.
Oh, yeah.
Like his teammates on, like, you kind of get a little bit of like, everyone's got their own problems. They've got their own situation going on.
But potential too.
But
They have
potential.
their problems, but potential.
Like the swan, or is it a swan? Whatever.
She's like,
Crane?
I think she's an ostrich.
Ostrich. She's an ostrich. That's right. Which is weird that I mean, it's a big bird, but I wouldn't.
Ostriches are pretty big. I think they're like 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that being a big.
The ostrich is more of like a very modern day kid, teenager, even adult. Like these younger 20 to 22, 23-year-olds, like it's so social media driven. Like you and I grew up on, like, the internet was around, but I mean, MySpace was invented when I was in like the 6th or 7th grade, I think, like, or whatever it was. Like the internet
it was
wasn't
like
something.
2000s.
Yeah, the internet wasn't. We didn't really grow up with the internet, but like when we were in early middle school on, like that's where it really started to blow up.
When I was in middle school is when Facebook got really big. Yeah. Everyone had a Facebook.
Yeah.
So
around there, but like kids these days are like they're growing up in the internet.
Oh yeah.
And everything is there. Everything, and the ostrich is a representation of today, like how one thing can go wrong, and if somebody gets evidence, like, I mean, main attraction dunks on her, and then all she's doing is reading comments, and she's self-destructing because she's reading the comments.
Yeah.
And like the relation to that is like really, really interesting. And then you're going to like the rhino, yeah, which is a lot older. It's more of an older generation where he wants to be a father. Like it's more family oriented. It's more like
he's kind of given up. Like he does it. He's in this league, but it's just kind of a paycheck for him at this point.
Yeah, it's like to provide for his family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just here to be the best dad I can now.
Right. And like it's his kids, his little girls that are like driving him and pushing him to do these things. And then like having he's like, look, I'm just trying to take care of the girls. That's what I'm trying to do. And then the moment, he has that realization of like we're your family just as much as your girls are. Like we spend a lot of our time together. He's like, so protect us the same way you would protect them. And like, then he finds meaning, not just in his life as at home, but even in his career, he finds a new meaning in his career of like, oh, okay, this is how I can feel fulfilled in other places outside. Cause like, there's a part in the movie where he's like, the girls are like painting on his face. And he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And like, he's an exhausted dad and he wants to be able to like have an outlet elsewhere, and that's what that's what the basketball game, that's what rollerball is for him, is that outlet to be able to be himself.
The
And then
draft.
the draft being, he was, I think this is really common, I guess, probably in professional sports, where he was a really talented player in college, where these players are really talented in college and they were everything for their team, and then they get to the league and they're like, we have this and this, I just need you to rebound and block shots.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, yeah, but I can score.
I can do so much more.
Yeah, like I can do way more than just block shots and rebound. Like, yeah, but that's all we need you to do. And like, the draft is a really good representation of like, although people have been telling you over and over that we only need two things from you, like, we're going to give you an opportunity to show that you can do more, that we know that you have a capability of doing that, and get kind of that rebirth of second chances. Like, it's really, really interesting the way that they go. They don't spend a lot of time with each character, but they do have, like, when Jet turns over the coaching responsibilities to the baboon or whatever monkey thingy it is, he does like a very quick synopsis of all of these characters.
Yeah, because he's been watching, just he's not allowed to coach because Jet's the final say.
Right. And he's been noticing all these things. And then he finally just gives like a 30-second bit of every character. And you're like, oh shit. And then you feel like how it's delivered. You feel like that character all of a sudden. Like, they were the side character this whole time. And now you feel like, oh, they're part of like the main characters. And then having main attraction being the bad guy and the villain of this movie, I think it was perfect. Like, it's really, really cool. Like, he is very much like the modern day player, or the modern day adult, early 20s adults, where like their life is online. Everything he's doing is online. He's talking smack online. He's making raps, and he's putting it, like, everything is produced for views and entertainment, and kind of that pushing himself up into that hierarchy. Basically, he's won the championships, and that's not enough for him. He needs everyone to know and tell him, hey, you are the best. Like, you're the best player here. You're the best person, or whatever it is. Each of these side characters are very unique. They're very interesting. And I love the way that they kind of dive into each of these characters, even just a little bit. It's really fun. It's really interesting. You get to know them all. And I really, really liked the side characters they used. Yeah.
Moto was freaking hilarious. He was so random. The
Komodo dragon. The Komodo dragon. And like, that's just like, that stereotype is like European. That's what he is. He's just European.
He was so like crazily random. I loved it.
I totally forgot.
I never knew it was going to come out of that lizard's mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah. One other thing I wanted to touch on with you and see maybe if you noticed it all or if this thought crossed your mind, but I couldn't help but like, this was like one of the first things that I was just really thinking about walking out of the theater is that it's no secret that like movies are trying to push like oh, this is like a badass female character, or something like that, like, and I don't feel like, I mean, we can always have more, but I don't feel like there's been like a complete shortage. I feel like you've got like Ripley and Sarah Connor and stuff like that, like throughout, characters that are just inherently badass, that aren't the stereotypical, like Jason Statham type.
Right.
But I feel like we've gotten a lot. I'll go back to what we know best of superhero movies. In Endgame, we have the all-female scene that kind of took you out. I didn't have a huge problem with it, but I know some people did, and like I can understand that. Like, I was like, this is like girl power, yeah. And I could not believe with this movie, I was like, that is how you do a badass female
Yeah.
character with Jet. It was never about, they didn't even bring it up. No one was saying, you're a woman and that's why we're better than you and you can't be the greatest and that's why you didn't get a chip. The only thing that was like thrown at her was that she's old.
Yeah.
Right? She's
Yep.
you're too old to be in this league. Like, you might as well give it up. Just retire. And that's something that everyone goes through, male or female, right?
Yeah.
And I loved that it was not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a thing. She wasn't like, I have to do this because I'm a woman. I want to do this because I'm a woman. It was literally that, like, she was just a badass character on this story arc, and she happened to be female.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I just loved that. I was like, I wish more movies would do that, where it's less that, like, I am a female and you wouldn't understand all the challenges that I've had to put up with because of that and stuff like that. Like, it's like, no, it's
make a badass
not even a
character.
thing to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm here with the best of them.
Yeah.
I am the best, you know?
Yeah. It's so removed from it being an identity thing and more so just being like, the character is written great. Everything that character does is great.
Yeah.
And their arc is great. Dialogue's great. And then it's like, oh, and then, yeah, like, surrounded by men. like that's not even, that wasn't even a thought during the movie. It was like, oh, she's a woman doing this. Like, it's just kind of like, Jet's a badass. Like, that's the only thought that I had.
Exactly. And I think that makes for a better, like, it pushes that agenda better. And I'm not saying that was their goal with this movie, but I'm saying that it pushes that agenda better than putting it in your face and being like, "Ooh, look!" Like, they're putting her down because she's a woman, but she's strong because girl power and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, they just let it be, and you come to your own conclusions, and you can have someone be like, "No, Jet's freaking awesome!" Like, love Jet.
Yeah,
so
I agree. Overall, though, I really love this movie. Definitely gonna, like, when it comes out in streaming services, it's probably a movie that I'm gonna go back to often to watch just as a fun filler. Like, it's definitely a movie that I want my nephews to see. Like, I'll watch it with my nephews. I think it's a right call not having Miles in the theater because, again, he's 3, 4. No,
he's
Miles?
3. He's 3.
So,
I don't think
that's just
that.
Tough.
I think it would hold his attention for about half an hour, and then he would try to get up and run around and do stuff.
Yeah,
and, like, it's just
but, like, it's a perfect movie for, like, to show him at home because he'll watch and play and like, it's very good for that. Like, I went and saw the movie. I got a free back massage. Apparently, that's part of the package that I went to because the 10-year-olds behind me were nonstop kicking my back. Like, it took everything in my power to not just, like, go over to the dad and be like, fix it. But
were you in a pretty packed theater?
No, dude. There was like nobody in there. It was me. There was no, like, 3 spaces in front of me, and there was just this family of 11
to the space in front of me.
I should have, dude. I was like holding out. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let this little kid beat me. I'm not letting this happen.
It was a
pride thing.
It was a will.
Yeah,
thing at that point.
I can suffer through this. This is a good movie. I can suffer through this. But it is a really good, like, it is a movie that I do want to share with my nephews, and, like, that I definitely recommend those who have young kids to watch it. And if you have kids that are like middle school, freshman, high school, like, there's a lot of really good messages in there for
I love
that age group.
That it wasn't about Jet being the best, because I think arguably she was in this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Main Attraction was better than her, and she had to overcome that. She was better than Main Attraction, but she still couldn't find a way to win consistently, and it was because she tried to put everything on her own back and not trust her teammates and give them the confidence that they needed to have to get the job done. So this was a very much like a team thing, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to walk into this and he was going to be like even for the first 15 minutes, I was like, yep, here we go. Will has been told he'll never be able to play and do well in this sport because he's just not big enough, but he's going to find a way to get into the league, and then he's going to become the best in the league and show up whoever the villain is that is currently the best in the league, and he'll be the new best in the league even though he's not a big. I was like, that's where it's going.
Yeah.
And at the end I was like, they didn't even like, Will's great, but he's by no means the best.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that he's competing with main attraction and Jet, but he was an integral part of the team, and the team all coming together was what allowed them to win. And I was like, that's sick. Like, that's a really good.
You may not be the
plot.
Yeah, you may not be the best person out there, but you could be that missing piece that's needed to move to the next level. And I think that's what the Will character is that I'm not going to be the best, but he was. Without Will, you don't have the camaraderie. You don't have you can't progress as a team, and like that's the missing piece, and that's just as important as being the best on the floor as being the missing piece. So
definitely.
Well, do you got anything else to talk about on the new GOAT movie?
No, not really. I think that we're both basketball lovers, so I would be interested to see how. I mean, Maya really liked it, and she's not necessarily like. I don't think she could recite all the rules to basketball or anything like that, you know? So she has a very limited basketball knowledge, but she still seemed to enjoy it. I'm just wondering if like a lot more people who aren't as necessarily into basketball would be as into this movie as we are, or if our love for basketball propels this even higher. But I think that everyone would find enjoyment out of it. So
I think so too. So that's well said. I think we'll end on that. Until next time, guys, we'll catch you later.
See ya.